Hello, we're going to make a video today, and this video will demonstrate connecting to the Xce x2go server using the Xfce desktop using x2go client software. This demonstration is being run from a Linux computer, but the x2go client software experience should be similar across other platforms, such as the Mac OS and Microsoft Windows platforms. Now, under your application menus on your Microsoft Windows and Mac OS systems, you can find the x2go client software. I'll find it on my Linux system and I'll start it up. When you start it up, very first time you start it up, very first time this x2go client software is being run, you get a new session dialog. The software assumes you don't have a session and you want to create one. We'll go ahead and create a new session. And the first dialog box here, called session name, is just a documentation that's going to, and it'll put the name of what the new session is in your new session panel. You can have multiple new sessions, so it's good to label them with a meaningful name. So this will be called Xce x2go. You can call it anything you want, but try and make it meaningful. The host name will be Xce-x2go.cc.lehigh.edu. The login name will be the login name that you've been provided for the Xce Teaching Lab Linux platform. I'm going to use a test login name. Okay. So now the last thing to do, and it's important here, is down here at the bottom of the dialog panel, it says session type. We want to hit the drop down arrow, and we want to choose the session type Xfce. Okay, and then we'll click OK. And you can see here that the new session, or the new x2go session that we created, is put over here in a to the right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and expand this box. And if you created other new sessions, they would be listed under if there were other x2go servers that you wanted to connect to. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the black text in order to initiate the session, and it comes up and puts my ID in there and asks me for my password, and this would be the password you have for the Xce Teaching Lab Linux platform. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and either hit enter or click OK. Now what happens here, or what in this case, I'm working from home and I'm connected to the Lehigh VPN. This Xce x2go server is behind the Lehigh firewall, so in order to be able to see it, you have to be connected to the Lehigh VPN. It can take a second or two, depending what's happening on the network, for you to get your Xfce desktop. So we have to be a little bit patient sometimes. Okay, so the Xfce desktop popped up on another screen. I'll drag it over here where we can see it. You may get a question your first time going in saying, do you want to use the default Xfce screen, and just go ahead and click yes. Okay. So I'm going to actually go ahead and expand this, make it a little bigger. You can drag this and move it around. What we want to do is test and make sure that we can get graphics back to our local device. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to open a terminal session. And you can do that by clicking the application down here in the little application box. And I'll go ahead and click on the terminal down there, and it popped up a terminal. And so what we can do now in order to test is we can run a program called gedit. It's kind of like Linux's version of Notepad. Okay, so I'll type gedit, and here you can see gedit ran, and this is a graphical Notepad type of thing, and it's displaying, and I can see it on my desktop. So that works. I can see graphics, and that's basically what we wanted to show, how to connect with the Xfce desktop and make sure we can get some graphics back. So we're going to go ahead and close this, and we'll exit out of here. And when you're all done, what you want to do is you want to log off. So you'll come over here where your user ID options are, and on the right hand side, and you'll click the little box and go ahead and click log out. If you click shut down, it won't shut down the computer. It'll kick you off, but it won't. Probably similar to a hard log out, but I recommend logging out gracefully using the log out button. Okay, and then we'll wait here for a second, and we're all done. And click cancel. We have that back, and so that's all there is to running the ECE x2go with the Xfce desktop option. Thank you for listening, and I hope this was helpful.